Welcome everybody to the press box here at IMSH 2024. We are live, we are full of people, it is showtime, and we are joined in this segment with the planning team, the co-chairs who brought you this event, and we are thrilled to have you all here today. If you all would take just a minute, introduce yourself, where you're from, and then we'll dive into the process of how we got here.
Hey, I'm Teresa Gore. I am adjunct professor at Nova Southeastern University and content manager HealthySimulation.com, and I am from the Tampa Bay area in Florida.
I'm Jamie Robertson. I'm the Director of Innovation and Surgical Education at Brigham and Women's Hospital in Boston.
I'm Cheryl Camacho. I'm the Director of Simulation at Nationwide Children's Hospital in Columbus, Ohio.
Perfect. Nationwide, bringing together a nationwide event. I've had the pleasure of knowing you all for years now, I guess, but working together with you pretty closely over the last year as staff, and I'm always blown away at how we seem to get a little bigger every year, bringing y'all's vision to life every year. I'm curious though, from the beginning, tell us about the vision you had for IMSH 2024, and did we hit it? So you want to start? Yeah.
Definitely hit it. We wanted energy, colors and energy, and you know, I think with Michael Bonner, he was our choice for the CHADEPs, and we were able to get him, and he did a great job. And so it was to bring that to keep following. So I'm not gonna steal it all. I'm gonna let my co-chair share.
It's just incredible to see it come to life. When we talk about it, it's always on paper and lots of documents going back and forth, but to walk into the conference center and see everyone here, see everyone sharing those ideas that we wanted them to bring to the conference, seeing the exhibit hall with everyone here, it blows us away.
I absolutely agree with the co-chairs. To walk in here and see everybody intermingling in the exhibit hall, I mean, all the way from, I think this morning I came in at 8:30 and they're already having conversations and dialogue with each other of what are we going to take away, where do we need to go, strategizing what vendors I need to see and how I'm going to take this back to our organization is truly impressive. One of the big things that we want to highlight is when you leave IMSH, it's like, what do I do now? So we want to give them the tools and tips and tricks to be able to take what they've learned here and take it back to their organization, which I truly think with our plenaries and our exhibit halls and our educational sessions, we're going to meet that mark and exceed.
I would agree. I feel like you all have done that, that gets me to where I want to talk about the theme a little bit this year with idea, right? From a marketing standpoint, it can be a challenge at times to hear vision and try to make some sense of, you'll understand this, the chaos that can come out of a thought process or a thought exercise, right? How do you make that tight? How do you make it look good? But this one, to me, while it was, there are many layers to this, I feel like it came together pretty close, but I want to talk about the idea, the pieces of the idea concept, and why those were important to you to bring those to the table the way you did. Teresa, you want to start?
I think we looked at what the strategic plan was from SSH, and that gave us a foundation of where we could start, and then we built on that. And I'll let my co-chair share.
I think as a community, we have a really diverse group of professionals, and we wanted everyone to feel really welcome at IMSH. And so we wanted our theme to capture something that everybody could do. And so we really thought about the big pieces of what our jobs entail in educating and advocating and innovating and disseminating our work. And so we felt like we could see everyone in the simulation community represented in those words.
And not only every individual, but also every organization. We have academia, we have hospital-based education, we have community, we have EMS this year as well. Bringing everybody all together and speaking the same language and then being able to take that away is truly getting the best bang for our buck.
Well, again, to recap, from a marketing sense, it was awesome to be part of that process, to know that there were so many different layers to it, but I feel like you all as a group just layered it out, smoothed it out to where I think we're seeing the result. Record attendance this year, record number of exhibitors, the energy is high, like you said earlier. It is truly something that I think everyone can grab onto, and I think that's the cool part, that they can start on a common ground and then see where the conversation takes them from there. So that said, I am also curious, I'm going to put my association hat on now for just a second, and I'm always curious at why people volunteer. Because it's one thing to join an association, right? It's another to take that step into presenting or being more engaged in some way, but then to move into a leadership role, right? It's neat. It's neat to see. I've done it in my own associations, but I'm always curious at why someone decides to do that. So if I could hear from each one of you, why? Why did you decide that you wanted to be not just in a leadership role, but quite honestly, one of the most important leadership roles that SSH has to offer?
So, I'll start. The thing of it is that so much has been given to me from the simulation community that has just done so much for my career and gave me purpose, and doing this gives me a chance to give back. And we can't keep doing the same thing over and over. And I want to thank, and all three of us want to thank you for taking our vision and really putting it into our logo, into that image, because you took our thoughts and our ideas, play on words, and put it into what we wanted. And so this has been wonderful for us. And so that's why I want to give back to the community of simulation.
Awesome.
I attended my first IMSH actually here in San Diego in 2016.
Cool.
And it was just such an inspirational moment for me. I hadn't been working in simulation very long, and so being here, going through the content, meeting people, really made me feel like simulation was my home. And it since then has been really my professional home in terms of what I do. And so for me, getting to be part of something that has given me so much, has given me opportunities to learn, to present, to network, to meet some of my best friends, to meet mentors, I really wanted to be able to help be part of that experience for someone else.
So I send my team here every year to get professional development. I'm a director of my organization, and I feel that it is my job to set them up for success, but who sets us up for success as leaders? And I feel joining SSH has provided me that opportunity to meet with some absolutely amazing leaders in the organization. But this has pushed me professionally to start doing more research, start growing myself, still growing my team, but still also like my professional development, and start pushing me to that next level of getting me there. And I mean, like I said, we had that great opportunity to work with world-renowned researchers. I mean, that's pretty impressive, and you don't get that very often.
Yeah, and I would say you get to do it in a way here, or at least in my experience. I've been now with SSH for 5 years, just at 5 years. The camaraderie and the tone, actually, when you can sit down with someone who is a world-renowned leader, and they're just like, yep, let's get some coffee, or let's just sit down in this corner for 10 minutes when you're not expecting it. The way that people seem to give their time and you all interact with each other is phenomenal. It's something that not all other associations don't do it the same way. I'll say it that way. So I'll leave you with this. One more question for you. We talked about your process and how we got here. I'm curious if you had one big takeaway or surprise or something that you're just going to remember as being part of this process.
It's the team. It's all of us. Is that this has been a pleasure, and I've done other things, but this right here, we're with our tribe. We don't have to explain what we do, why we do it. Everybody understands it. But working with these ladies has been a pleasure, and it has just flowed seamlessly to me as working in this group.
Well, Teresa sort of stole mine.
I'll feel that.
I'm starting to think you guys actually kind of speak the same language. You think the same thoughts. You've been working together for a year, right? Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it's a lot of the team, but I think a lot of what I learned through this process is really how much goes on behind the scenes. And I knew that from years of doing conference planning, but even more seeing all of the things that go on with everybody who submits content, and then all the people that review it, and then all of our content leads, and then us and staff and everyone who has to come together to make it happen. It's not just the three of us. We have a large team of people. We just get to be really fortunate and be the face of that team.
One big takeaway, we're all family. This is our people. We're not the odd man out talking about our mannequins and simulators and playing with dolls.
Isn't it nice?
It's great. They all understand what we're trying to say. And I will say, every single week we meet on a Wednesday and we all have those calls. It's that camaraderie. We build each other up. We don't break each other down. And it's pushing for one goal is for all of us to get better. And I will say, simulation 10 to 15 years ago was it's all mine, I'm not sharing. And look at the community now. It's like what I have, I want to give to you. Yes. I want to share with you. I want to share my best practices. And it's only going to make our patient safety and our patient care a whole lot better.
That's phenomenal. And I guess we'll end with that. But Teresa, Jamie, Cheryl, it has been a pleasure to speak with you here today on the press box, but also just working over the last year. The reason it's seamless for you all is because you make it seamless for us, and there was a lot of good synergy this year, so we're very appreciative. I think I get to speak for all staff when I say that. So anyway, well, thank you for joining us here today. That'll wrap up this issue or this episode of the Press Box, and we will see you on next time.